But now, actually, it's time to welcome the Minister for Business, Industry and Innovation, Ibrahim Baylan, who's with us on a link from the governmental offices in Stockholm. Hello.
Hello,
Thanks for joining us, Ibrahim. You know that we talk a lot about collaboration here, innovation, startups, and of course, what is the government's role in creating the conditions for these good corporations?
Thank you for having me at this very exciting moment, Linda. It's really, even though we are in the middle of a pandemic, it's still very exciting times. I mean, looking at the challenges we have ahead of us, chiefest among them, obviously, the climate change, the ongoing digitalization, getting a rather heavy boost during this pandemic, but also, and it's very important for me as minister, not to forget people and lifelong learning, because when you have and you need to make this kind of transformation, you need also to take into account that people will need help, bridges to the new jobs that are being formed because of the transformation you need to make in climate, so a more sustainable way of doing things, digitalization, but also other changes. And obviously, we love to cooperate in this country. We have formed the National Innovation Council under the leadership of the Prime Minister. We have partnership programs, and all of this we try to partner with academia, with industry, and also with the public sector and our agencies.
And as you say, it's very important, but also, I mean, your ministry is responsible, of course, for the strategic innovation partnerships programs, samverkansprogrammen in Swedish, and also to collaborate on some of the most important issues, as you mentioned, on sustainable growth. I mean, it's really important. But can you tell us a little bit more about the programs that we're talking about and how this could be relevant for startups?
Thank you. Well, to be honest with you, I think it's looking at the challenge that we have within this challenge is that we are also having huge potential for the next natural step for humanity and for our planet. I mean, we have had a debate about climate change that has been rather, negative, and obviously there are huge challenges, dangers, but we have also huge opportunities here, and to partner with industry, with academia, and to show the road ahead. I think it's very important for us. So we have a partnership program with industry, how to make the transition from our old way to do where we emit a lot of gases to the atmosphere to a more sustainable way of doing things, and both creating new jobs, but also obviously become the world's first fossil-free welfare society, and industry is key here. Digitalization goes without saying, and especially during this pandemic, we have seen the potential and the power that digitalization could play. Life sciences, I mean, Sweden is a very strong nation today, but even though we are the leading country in the European Union when it comes to innovation and innovation power, we need to push more, and we obviously also work together with our industry, our life science industry, our academia to push ahead. Lifelong learning, I mean, the transformation from our old way of doing things, digitalization will also create challenges, and I think you need also to show that we stand in this together, in this transformation together. So obviously we need also to work together with academia, with the industry, with the trade unions and the public entities to show that we will do this together and provide people with the means to take the new jobs or to develop within their company as they are today. And in all of this, I think it has been very important for me as minister that we not only work with the big companies, but also focus on the startups, on the SMEs, because for a lot of perspectives, I think a lot of these challenges a lot of the new innovations for solving these challenges will come from new startups, new innovations, new companies. So obviously we try to integrate them also in our work when we work together with academia, industry, and public sector.
Thank you very much for being with us live, even though on a link, Ibrahim Baylan from Stockholm. And we're going to continue our actually celebration, which it is of 4 years for SynerLeap. Thank you so much, Ibrahim Baylan. Well, back in the studio, we have 3 interesting guests. One is really well known to you now because we have Peter here, but we have 2 new guests as well that we will introduce. And Daniel, we heard you from Vinnova, and we just heard Ibrahim Baylan talking about a little bit of the Holy Trinity, I would say. What can public sector, academia, and of course the business do together? And I guess here is where Vinnova comes in. Can you explain a little bit how you can create more collaborations looking from your perspective?
Yeah, indeed. What we have to do is to open up for innovations that matters on a system level, focusing not only on actors and projects, but the system. And as Ibrahim mentioned, we need to develop new collaboration tools. And one interesting example for the past few years has been innovation hubs such as SynerLeap. They have proven the value of combining the flexibility and speed of startups with the power of large corporations. That's why, Linda, I'm so glad today to hear that more large corporations are joining SynerLeap.
Wow, thank you, Daniel. That's exactly what's happening. Peter is smiling the whole time here. So, Jon, you are a CEO for a startup, but you were really worried I wouldn't pronounce it right.
Yeah.
Okay, should we try?
Yes, please.
Ekkono Solutions.
That's good.
Hey.
Well done, Linda.
Well, you've done a really great entrepreneurial journey. I mean, you taken up a company on New York Stock Exchange, and now you're aiming to do this again with the SynerLeap platform. Can you tell us about it?
Sure. So we do edge machine learning. We've been part of SynerLeap, and SynerLeap has been great for us. And when you don't have an existing relationship with a company like ABB from before, it's almost impossible to navigate that organization. You won't even get past the security guard downstairs. SynerLeap's makes those introductions, and contacts are hard currency when you're building a company. At the end of the day, it's up to us as entrepreneurs to really build a viable company. I often get the question from my local politicians down in Varberg, what can we do to help? And they, just like SynerLeap, can help facilitate, they can pave the way and remove different hurdles to help facilitate this kind of success. So the system can kind of grease the turning wheels.
Now we want to hear also what you actually do.
So we're a software company. We do edge machine learning, meaning that we make connected things smart using AI.
Sounds like a great company, Peter. Yeah. I mean, you feel so strongly about the importance here of a vibrant ecosystem. We heard the key factor 1 could be digitalization, but what would you say is the key factor?
I mean, innovation is all about managing uncertainty, and it's definitely not just limited to technology. I mean, take for instance the geopolitical technology trade war. We see US and China, TikTok, which is breaking up very efficient and well-working value chains. The only way forward is to find new constellation, new value chains in order to continue to do the best products and solutions. And being part of this vibrant ecosystem, you simply maximize your chance to come out on top during turmoil and changing conditions. So the future will never be static. We have COVID, we have trade wars, we have technology. So you need to organize yourself for working in ecosystem.
And you're not afraid?
I'm not afraid of uncertainty, because that is...
All that you mentioned have actually happened during these 4 years since you started, right? With COVID, and you talked about TikTok, and also the Chinese, the potential, what people see also as threats. But all this in 5 years in a way. But you still look positively on the future.
Uncertainty is the new normal, and we need to embrace it and be able to face it. Ecosystem, you can do it.
Daniel, do you agree? I mean, how can we get more benefits? Is it the way Peter is saying, collaboration between startups and industry even further, and just be adaptive? I mean, that's what Peter is saying.
Yeah, indeed. You know, we have the directionality with Agenda 2030, and we have a vibrant but scattered innovation system. So how can we align that much better? We need to transform that into a well-functioning ecosystem where the parts function well together. And one practical example of that is where companies such as Ekkono engage in both SynerLeap and AI Sweden, giving them direct value and long-term competence development, at the same time pushing the innovativeness of the large companies.
Very important. But I think also, I mean, Jon, is this what you need for startups' perspective to grow faster? Is it combined, what, I mean, even Marie said earlier, and Ibrahim Baylan, is that what you need, or do you want to add anything to grow faster?
Right. There are a few things. I mean, first of all, back to what Ibrahim Baylan said about having the startups in focus for political decisions. I'd like to hear that more. I'd like to see that more. Because Sweden is a country of large corporations, and politics is typically made around that. So that's one thing. The other thing is that after the Swedish music wonder and gaming wonder, I think that we have the Swedish B2B wonder. We have these perfect conditions with companies like ABB and Atlas Copco, Volvo, IKEA within driving distance. And I think that I would like to make a shout out to the large corporations. I really salute the initiative. Exactly.
The mentee as well. Yeah.
I really salute the SynerLeap initiative, because at the end of the day, revenue and customer money is worth 5 times more any kind of grants or VC I can get, because it gives me a reference customer, I get real customer requirements, I get validation of my business model, I get easier to raise more funding, and I can pay the bills. So if anything, I'd like to do a shout out to these large corporations to do more. Make decisions, become customers, actually take action beyond POCs, as Jacob said before.
So Peter, can you do more?
I think being a part of the ecosystem, you should pay attention to what is attractive to others. If you have a what's in it for me attitude, it's simply not working out. You will be disregarded. Willing to give away, then you can reach this amplification factor, like Jon is saying. Something that is valuable to others, they will give back to you. And I think Ekkono is just a great example where these mutual benefits come nicely together. And they were early on with this technology edge machine learning. Now motors, machines and vehicles, everyone needs to be smart and self-learning, and we have done the lesson together with Ekkono. We have activated the ecosystem. So persistence pay off, giving is receiving. This is a mutual pay it forward way forward.
Pay it forward is the way forward. Thank you very much. Nice meeting all three of you. Peter will be back. And